Hello, welcome back to another modeling tutorial. This time I will show you how to create this vintage coffee grinder. And without really long intros, let's get into it. I have split this model in 3 items, and let's start with the main body of the grinder. As always, I start by adjusting camera angle and opening a reference image. I also keep the cube in this case and lift it slightly up from its base point. In edit mode, I extrude top and bottom of the cube and scale them ever so slightly to create a little edge. Now I add subdivision modifier and add some loop cuts to sharpen up the edges. Once I have sharpened edges, I select whole object and subdivide it by 3. Now select central 4 faces and use LoopTools to create a circle of these faces. Now extrude the circle up and inset faces twice. Then select central point and move on Z-axis. Extrude the most inside circle slightly up. Create smaller circle at the top of your dome. Adjust the shape of the dome to your liking. And delete the central vertices to create a hole. Add some more loop cuts to sharpen up the edges. Now let's create a space for a drawer by extruding faces inwards in the main body. Add some necessary loop cuts to sharpen up the edges of the drawer, and I personally adjusted the size of the drawer to be slightly higher and merged all the vertices that were double. We are now done with the main shape of the grinder. Let's move on to the drawer. I start by copying the main shape of the drawer, then separate into separate object, and then filling it in and extruding the depth of the drawer that I set out in a main object. I create a drawer thickness by insetting faces and pushing them on the Z-axis downwards. I add some missing geometry by using knife tool. And I add some more loop cuts to sharpen up the shape. Same as for the main body, I now select the whole object and use subdivide and subdivide by 3. I adjust the position of the loop cuts to create a little handle of the drawer. I use loop tool again to create a circle where the handle will be. And I extrude and shape the handle using loop cuts. We now have modeled drawer. Let's move on to the moving lever. I start by adding a cylinder, approximately the size of the hole. I added subdivision modifier and started to shape it with the loop cuts. Once I shaped the cylinder into shape based on the reference, I added a plane that I shrunk down to about the width of the cylinder to create the long lever part. And I gave lever a slight thickness. Once I was done with the lever, I copied a top part of the central cylinder part and separated it into a separate object and reshaped it into a wooden handle that is at the end of the lever. Once I was done with all three shapes, I just did little adjustments to make it nicer. And we are done with this model. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see part 2, where I do material application to this model to really bring it to life. Subscribe to my channel, it really helps me out. I will see you in next one, and have a good day.